Hello guys, Susanna here. Well, I've got to do a project, and because I need to do a project for something else, I thought I might as well just come on here and film and make a project on camera for my local church. We've got like a ladies group where they do some stuff, and they want to do painting, but they also want to do a little bit of sewing. So I thought I would teach some ladies how to do some slow stitching and just make something really simple. And I was thinking a little lavender bag, and so I've got some lavender from my sister and some I had myself, so I kept one aside. And I was thinking, I've got these bags, and I've got a few in my on my website, so I'm going to just sort of, I had 9, I've taken off 2 because I thought that'd be enough to do some packs. So I've got these 2 extras, and they got some buttons and everything in there, and they've got, so here's the leftover. So I've got enough to do quite a few. And then I got this, which was an actual what do they call them? Better test it. Oh, it's a pillowcase to do a little stitching. Yeah, it should be all right. I just wanted to do a little stitchery of just draw a lavender, do some French knots, and a something really simple. So here's the fabrics that you get in there, and they're all shirt ones, and I was thinking I wouldn't mind doing like a little lavender bag. So how big are we thinking? And I thought that would make a nice edge, so maybe 4 by the time maybe 4.5, because I've got a stitch on the sides as well. So 4.5 by maybe 5. Okay, so what we'll do, I'll just do that there. So one side, I'll rip the lot and then put this. One side is going to be just the one colour, and then the other side will be bits that I patch together and have this in the middle. So what size is this? Maybe, well, it's 2 1/4 inch one way and 2 3/4 another way. So also had some of these bits and pieces in there as well, like you get that, but I'm probably more likely to use this. You get some of this in the kits as well. So I mean, if you guys on the channel want to make up something, the kits are still available, but I will be chopping up bits and pieces, so I might just add a little bit like of an edging or something on there as well. So I'd like to put that in the middle. How big do we want it? I don't want it too big, just a small little lavender bag. So what did I say? It was 5 that way and maybe 4.5 this way. Yeah, we want to get a little bit of the edge as well. Okay, so that'll be the finished bag. By the time we sew it together, it's got an edge, and we'll put some lace around it, and that, that's the back side of it. Okay, but that's the size we'll be basing our piece on. So what I would like is, so I'll just keep that aside. I would like to move this, move those, and do some colour. So we're going to put do I want the stripes to go down And do I want it that way? That seems to fit pretty good. Okay, we'll go just cut a little bit. Oop. So get my cotton, and I'm going to do just the most simplest stitching. So for the ladies that actually come to the craft group and don't get a chance to finish, they can, I'll just send them this way. Oh, seriously, I hate it when you can't thread it properly. Okay, there we go. Now, yep. So this is a quick and easy little piece of stitching. I kind of like that. So we're going to do one going this way. So you're just doing the running stitch like I do, and we're creating some fabric. Okay. If you are not confident, you can rule a line, but I am just going to be sewing in because it's stripes. You can measure it between the lines. Okay, now for people that don't feel confident in stitching a lavender, like a little piece of lavender, they can just have fabric all over and maybe a little bit of lace, and you know, make themselves a yo-yo or whatever they want to do. Make it nice and simple. Okay, doesn't matter if it's not straight, because when we fold it over, it's all good. Okay. Okay, now we come out. It's got to go down a bit. There we go. I'm going to move these scissors because that noise is going to drive me nuts. Okay. So I'll give it a bit of a stitch off and then go through and do that. Okay, so usually you fold to the dark, so we're going to fold that way and use our fingernails to press it. Now I do want you know, it to be the same size as that, and I might even come up a little higher. Pick the colours that you want. I don't mind that. Or do we want to go that? That's quite nice. I might straighten this up a bit. And we are going to do I'm going to straighten it up a bit with this proper scissors that will go all the length. Okay. Okay, we'll go this way. Do another knot. Do we want to pin? Maybe. Okay. Oh, that lavender smells so good. And men's shirts are actually quite nice because they're cotton to sew with. That's why I made this, because these were like, my husband was cleaning his cupboard out, and I said I'll take them. So we'll just go from underneath, do that, and then we're going to do another little running stitch. Probably moved that already. So that's coming this way, so make sure that that stays down when you get to that. You can feel it with your finger underneath. So, that white sheeting is fairly tough. It's not impossible, but it's pretty tough. But at least you know, it's a really high quality. So when I get the needles for the girls, I think we're going to have to make sure one that's got a good point. Okay. Unlike that. Okay. Actually, that might have been perfect to go on the top. I still might even do that because it's got a rounded edge just like that has. But it's not a problem if it doesn't. Okay, we are near the end. So we'll just come around, grab that, and finish that off. 2 for double measure. At least you know it. It's not going to go anywhere. Always the way. Really. It doesn't matter. Okay, now, so what we're going to do is I might see how big that is and just cut that. That way, if we do need to use this bit for the top, I can. So, and it's already been tied once, so I think this little bit will be okay to cut. Okay. Just thought this would be nice because it's got, you know, pretty lavender colours, which I thought would be nice. And this has sort of got like a lavendery flower type thing in there. Okay. Hey, so I might go like that. I think it is quite pretty. So basically we're just creating a piece of fabric. Okay, come in. This shirt material here is a little bit on the slippery side, so I might get a pin. This material here. Okay. Now, it's a fairly quick and easy process. Now, if you didn't want to make a lavender cushion, a lavender bag, you could probably make a pin cushion, which might be nice. That's what I thought. I'd give the ladies an option to do a bag or a pin cushion. I think what would be nice if you did a pin cushion, but you also put some lavender in there, and it would smell pretty. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it does smell very nice. Now, come up. Finish it off. Yeah, that'll do. You're going to cut the other side anyway. So once again, you fold over to the darker side, and then we cut this. Okay, now definitely makes that wide enough. Got that there going there. Better move this out the way. I wonder if you did this, could keep some of that, whether that would be okay. Probably, you could probably cut it, and I'll have an ironing board at the ladies craft group where we can just iron it down. I probably will pause and, you know, get the iron out and iron it down, because it will help. Now, probably still a little bit big, but that's okay. Now, what do we do? Do we have that on top? Wish I had thought of it beforehand. That would have been so much better. I probably could unpick that, but I think I might have that on top, and maybe the spots on the bottom, and we'll ditch that. So you know, still got these fabrics. I kind of like that. So what I might do is I'll just stitch that to there. See how it's a little bit lower? I'm definitely going to stitch pin these. And I might even pause it while I stitch this down. And then I'm going to do some polka dot on the bottom. I think that'd be cute. Straighten it up a bit though. Now it may seem a little on the dark side, which it is, but that's okay. So we're going to put some polka dot on the bottom. I might pin that as well. And then give it a pause. And do the stitching in the background. Okay, so we'll stitch this down. So I might pause it for a bit, and then I'll come back. Once those are stitched down, That'll be like that, and I'll cut it to the same size as this. Maybe give it a bit of an iron, and then we're going to do a little bit of stitching in there, and maybe, you know, like I'm using this as an example, just going to be one sprig, and maybe, you know, stitch something like that down. A lot of these packs had yo-yos. Might be nice getting a yo-yo, but we'll see. So I'll just pause it and I'll be back. Okay, I am back again. I have ironed it, and I've ironed this piece, and I've cut that other piece to be about the same size as this piece. So what we're going to do with this piece, I've folded this piece over. So you just fold a little fold, and then you do another tiny little fold. And now what we're going to do is a little bit of embellishing. So I've got where are they? There's a little bag I've got here of threads that I was going to use. Here we go. I found a little bag that had some threads, and they've got a little bit of pink, a little bit of teal, and I might get all three of them out. Never know. So what I was thinking is, because this is only like done in a running stitch, we are going to do another running stitch over the top to give it a decorative element, but also to, you know, hold it. I might just use the purple. Okay, now where is that pin? Here we go. Probably should have done this before I turned the camera on. Yep. Keep that thread, because we're going to be putting some of this on there as well. So I'll just show you how to do this. The only thing, when you've got a small needle, it can be a little pain. What I might do, yeah, that's got a good point, so I'll use that one. Because we're going to go through a few layers, so we might need it a little longer. So what I'll do now, when we actually sew it together, like the little pouch, I might, gotta be careful, I might sew that on the machine. So I'll probably bring my machine with me. If the ladies on the day are wanting to do it by hand, that's okay, but this is what we're going to be embellishing by hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably should have come in a little closer. There we go. I'll just do a little running stitch, so it'll give us a decorative element, but it will also hold it together. I'm not too worried. I can see that not there because that'll be sewn. Might grab my thimble. Yeah, so I want to be holding that because we don't want a frayed edge on the top. So stitch that down. Now this is the the bit where you can see your piece coming together. Don't want to be too big. Might have to go and have a look at another needle. Might be a little better. Might pinch that one for the next. But there is a few layers in this because it's been folded up double. So, oh. Okay. Now it's only a very simple little project, but that's all we want. So what I might do is I'll finish off here, and I'll start on one of the other rows just to show you, and then, you know, stop it again, and then by the time I come back I'll have that part sewn. Okay, so I'll just finish this off. Pretty colour this. Pretty. Okay. Now, cut that. Then what we'll do, we could probably even do another row here if you wanted. I think that may not be a bad idea. I might do that in the pink. So we'll do, because that is holding that against there, so we'll do another one there. Then we do one here and one here, one there and one here. So I will start, you reckon, is that enough of a contrast? I might do it, I might do the pink on here and here and the purple on there and there. So we'll start it here. And this is holding down the stitching that you've done too. So it's pretty basic, which is what I want to do. This is a real beginner's project, because I'm going to be teaching ladies that have never done any stitching before. So we want something that they feel like they've achieved something, but they, you know, it's not hard, which is when something becomes too hard, you give up. So okay. Oop. Now, what I'll do, I'll do one more, go down. I will probably finish off. If you don't want to, I could probably just go, make sure you don't go through the lot. Go this way. And on the other side of the stitching, so you're not seeing it. Then go down so you don't see it there, and then we start here. And do a running stitch along here. Okay, so I'll be back. I think we need a different needle because it seems a little tight. So I'll go along there, and then I will do pink, I think. Let me have a look. Yep, it's going to stand out a little bit more. So I'll pause it and I will be back. Can you sort of see what I've done? There we go. It's a bit hard to see this stitch. Barely see it. I'll be back. Okay, well, I am back again, and I had a thing full of different types of purples because this is sort of a bit, it's just, yeah, I think these would be better to work with. So I'm umming and ahhing because, I mean, this is dried lavender. So what I'm going to do, I've got, here you go, here's what we've done. I've stitched that in the darker and then did that in the lighter pink. So what I was thinking is that we get, I've got this green, it might be a little bit too green. I love the shape of that, but we want to get a piece of lace. Just sort of want to know what I do with something like this. So it's just a little piece, stretch it out. I might cut it in half. That might even be too big, but we'll see how we go. See, I've got enough in this stuff to do 2. So we're going to put it on the dark side, or we're going to do it on the light side. I think I'm going to do it on the light side, and then I'm going to you know, I've got a couple of these motifs. I'm still here, I'm just sort of trimming it so it doesn't look so squarish. Okay, oop. Give me something where they tend to look a little bit. So I might even put that on that side. I'll see if I can go into my collection of buttons. So what I will do, I kind of like that, but that sort of gives it that real subtle, but I like that this is sort of like pink and purple, like a mixture. So I would like to put that there, and then I would like to have that there. So then we're going to use this as inspiration, and then I'm just going to draw a stem, and then just I'll do a stem this way too, just lightly, just little like dots. I just sort of do little lines. That way, if people can't do French knots, which when you first start, I'll do a line here, it can be difficult. So for beginners, I don't want to you know, make it too hard for them, and I might even do, because often they have these little things there. So simple, and then I'll probably end up drawing it for these guys. Now, where is the end? Here we go. So what I might do is, what we need first is the green. And this is a pretty full-on green. I'm thinking maybe, is that a bit better? Is that much better with that? I think so. It is pretty full on the other one. Looks like it's already got, I was wanting two skeins. Like as in you get 6 skeins on one of these things. Now, where is that needle that I had put aside? Oh, I don't like it when you can't find these things. put that over there because I've got that in there, and so usually a chenille 22 needle is good for doing embroidery. So I've got two strands, and we are going to do, it's a different stitch, it's a stem stitch, but it's pretty easy because we're doing the stem. Now move this over, so we'll start up here on the top, and I'll move this away again. Okay, then you go over, and then you go next to, like about halfway next to it across. Then go down again about the same distance, and you go back through that hole. So down and then back through that hole that you'd have already made. And once again, you don't have to worry about this, because the pen, because you can iron it off. So I'm thinking this is probably too thick of a needle. I wonder if it'll go through this, I'm hoping. But because it's 2 threads, it can be difficult to thread sometimes. This one's a little bigger. Now, oh, don't tell me it's got a knot in there on the top, and it's a little long, so we're going to cut it. It's annoying working with a really long thread. Okay. You could probably almost do 3 skeins. Okay. So there you go, people's introduction to slow stitching, and they actually get to do a little bit of embroidery. You can hear that there's a knot in there, which is okay for me, but for a newbie it would be a pain. Okay. So really simple, tiny little sprig. And the reason why I put this down first is so that I know, see how it's a little bit more, oh look at this, this has come undone. Oh no, that's terrible. That's not a really good instruction. I don't think I must have sewn it down properly. There we go. It's all right. I mustn't have grabbed it properly, or yeah, that is weird. I have no idea why that has come undone. We'll have to keep an eye on that when I show the ladies. Okay, there's the back. Just going to finish that off. And I've got to go onto the machine and stitch that down again. Because we don't have time to redo it by hand. I'll just quickly do that on the machine because it's set up here. Hang 10. Back again. I might even zoom it in a little closer because it is pretty small. Yeah, I mustn't have caught that. So okay, so I'll zoom it in, and I've got to make sure that I stay there. And then, so what I've done, if I've got this red, which one is it? This one here, and I've cut off a bit, and I've done 3. So I might, just so it's a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is at the top here, we're just going to, I'm going to make it as simple as anything and just do a little stitch. That's it. Nice and simple. Tiny little, like a seed stitch. Coming around. Now, even though I've only marked that, I am going to do one in between as well, because we will need to. So that's why I've made it a little thicker, to try and make the lavender a little fuller. Oop, there we are. And don't pull too tight. To doing one in between. So I'm just doing the very basics because this is beginner friendly. Should be able to do one more in between those two. So if I was doing one for you know, more experience, I'd probably do some bullion knots, or you know, colonial knots. I might even just go down, come back up here and do the 2 that are down here. Okay, come back up here. And we'll do just a few more in here. So pretty basic, and that's a nice way to have a little bit of embroidery on another word, you know, a bit of a boring piece with just a couple of straight edges. So this is just introduction. Now, any of you ladies in the group that are a little bit more advanced, you know, do your French knots and do your other one, but this is a nice way to still have a really pretty piece. I'm going to do one here. I'm just wondering if we need to do one more on the top there. What do you think? I'll just leave it. Probably do another one in here too. Yeah, I might do a tiny little one in here. And to see where you need to do more. And then I think there's another one that needs to be done down the bottom there, so we'll just weave our way down. Another one in here. There we go. Seemed a little sparse. Let me look. And maybe here. There we go. There we have our cute little lavender sprig. Finish it off. Okay. Now, what we are going to do, I've got this piece here. It's probably, could be a tad long. I might just cut it a little bit, stretch it out a little. What I'm going to do is just pin that down. This is just adding a little bit of extra something, if you know what I mean. And then we'll do the same in that corner with that. I'll stitch that down with the white, which is this one. Might even do a French knot or something in the middle of that, or even grab a button, because we've got buttons in the pack. So for the guys on the channel who have got themselves this pack, you might even be able to grab yourself a little button, put it in the middle, or put a button there. There's some little tags. I'm just wondering, because I had to re-sew this, it's sort of gone a bit funny there. Do we do that on that side? No, because it was made for this side, wasn't it? Yep. Okay. It's probably going to be longer than what I thought, but it's a fine for an afternoon for ladies. But I might have to just pause it again, just so that this video for you guys is not too long. So what we do is we just come in and embellish. Grab that. I might grab that down, and this. Oop. Okay, I think it's looking rather sweet, so I might pause it again, stitch those down, then I'll come back. So what we're going to be doing next, once that's stitched down, we will go on the machine and stitch this down and leaving these two gaps open. So I don't know whether I'm going to make it into a little bag which I'll close with a lace tie, or fill it up and then maybe stitch those two bits together. I don't know, we'll see how we go. But yeah, just a little simple lavender bag, or it's a good size for a pin cushion as well. So yeah, we will see. Oh, hang a minute, there we go. I think it's really sweet. Oh, it's going to be quite a long video. Okay, I'm back again. I had all sorts of trouble with my machine. Here's where, you know, I get to stitch that little bit on. It's just, you know, grab and stitch tiny little bits. I stitched around it and I clipped the edges. Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with my machine, playing up something chronic. It's always the way when you're wanting a video to, you know, hurry up. Okay, now we got ourselves a little bag now. So I'm at the point where, oh, that's so cute. Do I actually, I'll just get the little corners going. Do I just fill it with lavender, then tie it off, or at this stage people want to take it home and stuff it and make it into a pincushion? They could probably do that and then hand stitch that on the top, and they'll have themselves a very cute little pincushion. So, I mean, here's my pincushion that I've made. They can get them started into a bit of slow stitching, or they can do, where are we? Just going to grab a bit of this. Do me. Not quite sure how much we need. Okay. Then grab yourself a bit of lavender. I think that's probably the easier way. Filter out some of the bits. I think we need a bigger sieve. Just chuck it in. Oh, it smells pretty. Okay. We need a little bit more. Geez, I've managed to dirty my little pad, but it's okay because it'll smell good. Put that in there for a second and clean up these bits. And then we could probably gather up this content. I don't know how well that's going to work, making ourselves a little lavender bag this way, because you certainly cover up a fair bit, don't you? Oh, it smells good. I don't know. I think I wonder if I just we just stitch it up. Add a little more in there. And we stitch it up. I think we do. Here's some sprigs. Don't quite need that. It's the only trouble. I'm just wondering whether I get some stuffing. I might, if I can find it in this mess. Probably not. No, my room is very messy. So I reckon we just add a little more. And then where are we? Probably stitch it closed. Actually, I'll really push that down. Push it down, and I think this is probably the better way, to be honest. And then we've just got ourselves a really nice, it's like this one, you know, just a little bag that you can stick in your drawers. Oh, and it smells so good. It smells good. So what we could probably do is just get, where are we? I was going to use this, but I may not. So it's me working on this. I'm just wondering whether it might be worth unpicking that there and stitching the whole lot through. Where's my little strong pin? Okay. We don't want it coming undone. Oh, it just smells divine. Okay. And then we can come up through here and I reckon we could almost do a ladder stitch. Push that down. Now a ladder stitch is a stitch that you grab one side, then you grab another, I'm just going to do a very small slip stitch. Yep, that's what I'll do. Just like what you do when you are doing English paper piecing. So if I was to make another one of these again, so I was just doing stitching, figuring out how I'm going to make this, I would probably just have a little hole about this much and then stitch around all the way, and then we only have a small little hole that we need to stitch up. I'm wondering, you know, you could almost do a very pretty, use a pretty bit of purple. I think that would work. Have that going there like that, so it's out of the way. Okay, well, I think we are done. And I think this is the way that we're going to have the bag. I quite like it. Just got a little bit there if you want. I mean, these yo-yos are massive. You could probably put a yo-yo on the other side. Maybe put a button, I'm thinking. Got these really pretty buttons. I'm thinking that we should put one there. I think that would look nice. Yep. So I think that's what I'll do. Yep, there we go. I quite like that. Very simple and something that you can just put in your drawers or next to your bed, and you just, you know, fluff it up every now and again like I do with this. I just do that. Oh, and it smells beautiful. That's just a real 2 bits of fabric sewn together and sewn around. I mean, that's the simplest form. This is just a little bit more detailed. So what do I do there? Where's the thread that I was using? And I might put that button on there. I think it just makes it. So what I could probably do before I finish stitching, push that down, come in from underneath there. Ugh. So the knot is not seen. There we go. And just stitch. Stitch the button. Do everything the hard way. So now I know that a button would be nice. I can put it on before. I think it just needed a little bit of something else. Okay. Go around. Well, my fingers are going to smell nice. I'll come back up, and what I'll do is I'll knot it. This is why it would have been easier to sew the button on beforehand. And just come underneath and grab the needle through. Yep. There we go. And I'm just going to cut. I'll have a long thread, doesn't really matter. There's a bit of thread in there. Put that in there. And I'll finish up, and you'll see the finished little piece in the thumbnail. Well, I just quickly slip stitch this down. Okay, there you go. Oh, I better get the pins in again. If you want to, while it's open, you could probably put a bit of lace or something in there, like something like this, and then you can hang it in your wardrobe. So no worries, guys. Well, I will catch you later. And yeah, here we go. I'm happy with it. I think it's turned out really cute, going a little bit better. Yeah, just a real simple little stitchery, and it has turned out okay, just from some old men's shirts. Okay guys, thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for persisting in watching this. It's just something that I thought I've got to do for the ladies group, and yeah, I might as well film it while I'm here. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.